to see if Scarlett can put a stop to it, because she was looking fantastic and stellar in a lot of the Zerg versus Zerg as well. We have to the bottom right hand side, the blue Zerg is from Team Expert, Scarlett. And to the upper left hand side, the red Zerg player is True. Winner of this plays Neeb in the grand finals. As you get this set up and rolling in the early stages. As Scarlett says, Muron. I don't know what actually means that well. I can kind of read it. It says something like, no, it's Duron or something. Oh, and that disappeared. Oh well. The first word was like Duron. Or Duron. I don't know how the line goes actually anymore. My Korean got sloppy. I was never good at Korean. I started learning Korean. I was doing it for like a month or something, and then suddenly I just got really busy, and the passion died out a little bit, and stuff like that. Anyways, let's see how this goes for both. We're going to be seeing Hatchcast Pool. I'm really intrigued to see what Scarlett does, though. She's been thrown in so many interesting little build orders. So many different kind of little builds. She's been using mutas. She's been using kind of carapace openers. Scarlett's really shown us so many different styles here in the last few days of the OSC Championship. Great to see it. It's actually made the ZvZs very entertaining, I have to say. Of course, if Scarlett wins this, we will have that potential grand finals between the grand finals rematch of the winner bracket finals between Neeb and Scarlett. I mean, True, if he wins this, can play Neeb as well, and that actually could in itself be a pretty sick series, although Neeb's PvZ is looking pretty freaking good, if I'm going to be honest. Well, Overlord moving out into the center. The Baneling Nest coming up in the main base as well at the moment here. Ling Speed continuing to come on through. Queen coming up for True at the moment, so Queen on its way out, and we are going to be seeing, again, just another couple of drones being added in, with the third hatchery for Scarlett going to get thrown down now over to this south side. Overlord's pushing on forwards, and a couple of these queens from Scarlett going to be coming on in, and will be able to target down that Overlord in the next couple of moments. So Overlord going to start getting targeted down, and is going to be dropping perhaps in the next few moments. Gets pretty close, gets pretty low. Is going to be very low here as it gets pushed out in towards the center. And Scarlett knows she was a little bit unfortunate there. I love True. He's pretty funny. Just lol. I just love it because I know how what he's thinking when he types it as well. I can see like True's cheeky little smile on his face, like, yes, you did nearly get me, but not quite. Not quite. Two Lings coming up from Scarlett towards the upper side, and it's going to be seeing a couple of Banes on the way up as well. Roachron and the Evolution Chamber coming down from True behind this mineral line, as we are going to be seeing the Creep Tumor is coming up as well. And obviously just kind of connecting the bases, giving Queens easier access to move around. We'll see Scarlett with a few Lings just poking up towards the third hatch. And Baneling goes off to kill off a couple of Zerglings so far. And we do see the +1 missile attack upgrade from True is, again, just on the way nice and quickly. Very fast missile attack upgrade. And I wonder if Scarlett is maybe just going to say, okay, she has a few more drones. For a moment, it kind of looked as though maybe Scarlett was just going to build a bunch of roaches. Look at how much gas she has. But starting the Evo Chamber now, maybe this looks more towards something like the Lair and the +1. But again, the later Evo will definitely affect her here. She doesn't have really anything to show for this much of a later +1. But she does stop the Lair up faster than True does. He's in towards this third base mineral line. Not going to find too much at all. Again, the Roach is once again on its way out. A few more drones, a few more Zerglings coming on through here. The missile upgrade still coming on in behind this natural mineral line. And again, the two Zerglings, or a few Zerglings of True, coming in towards the center of the map as well. Queen pokes forwards and just going to be the broken its way through that Overlord. So Overlord taking some damage. 10 more drones on the way up. Scarlett's just droning like crazy here. Again, she will get the roach speed lead and will be behind on the +1 attack still. And True's level finishing time to start +2, so he can definitely maintain the upgrade advantage which he's built up for himself over the next few moments. If you're going to see the roaches picking off a couple of Banes in the center, Scarlett's like, oh, that's probably not meant to have happened. True is able to again pick that up quite nicely. As you can see the Queen picking up a Zergling kill. And we look to see where we go from here. +1 about to finish up, and we are going to be seeing the Spire dropping down. I mean, this is something Scar's been doing a lot. The Mutalisk stars as well. She gets herself 7 drones with a couple of Banes in the main. How did that even happen? I don't even see those coming in. Well, 7 drones just slowing True's worker count down a little bit. As again, the Spire, something we've seen a couple times from her today against Cham. Maybe you guys weren't watching it, but she won this game against Cham with this sort of mass Mutalisk sort of style. I think that was game 2 of the series. It was on the other stream. I was keeping an eye on it, and we also saw her taking down Namshar in game 5 with a whole bunch of mutas, although it was a bit of a different one. She actually switched it up into kind of Mutaling Bane after opening roaches. Right now, obviously we don't get to see if she's going to do that or not, but I'm sure we'll find out in the next few moments. She's still building roaches, so it seems as though Scarlett probably isn't going to be going for that as she drops down those rocks, and that will just, well, wall off this sort of pathway on the right-hand side, as we now see a single Zergling nibbling away on the hatchery on the bottom left-hand side of the map as well. A few Ravagers coming up, and we're just going to be seeing True trying to take control of the map, take away Scarlett's vision by killing off Overlords. The Overseer is obviously a little bit harder to hit, but coming in towards this Overlord here, True already saw it with an Overlord of his own, so he knows it's there, but Scarlett just turns away, almost baiting those biles in. Turned away right on time, and now she has roaches coming up, and True does see it, and so he backs away with the Ravagers, realizing that maybe he cannot actually get this Overlord in time. And what's going to come as a bit of a shock to True is if those mutas come out while the Ravagers are on the map, the Ravagers would go down instantly, and then Scarlett could start hunting Overlords, etc. And that's one of the reasons Scarlett doesn't make Ravagers, of course, here herself, because she wants to build the mutas. She does go for the Baneling speed, so she's already setting up towards what she expects to be Hydras in the near future beyond this. That's True sees the mutas and immediately cancels the Ravagers morphing in, and will instead tech up elsewhere, probably just realizing that Ravagers don't really help in this scenario. The Roaches are tanky against the Mutalisk because of the way the armored tag works. The Ravagers are just more easily targeted down, so better to spend that gas elsewhere than to build units which are just going to get cleaned up much more easily. Now Scarlett's only just now going to see these units coming down the right hand side of the map, and so True going to start pushing up this ramp and in towards the natural and third bases. You can see a Roach on the front taking some shots. Roaches of Scarlett continue to back away over to the left hand side, and the Roaches continue to push on through in towards the natural expansion, already looking to get a lot more done. So one Roach gets picked off here, and you're going to be seeing the push up in towards the main base. Those Roaches splitting themselves up a little bit now, as we are again going to be seeing Roaches and Ravagers of True picking their way through a couple of these Roaches. I mean, Scarlett's doing good damage across the map as well. Her Roaches are actually picking away at reinforcements of True. Going to get rid of this third hatchery, it seems. True's kind of winning out on the third base as well, but very slowly. And the mutas should help to really clean that up eventually. Over in the main base, Scarlett's cleaning up as well. And True is, I think, overall losing out in this. And especially if the mutas are going to be able to stay alive. That's going to be a big part, because the mutas will stay alive and they'll get on the map to do even further harassment. I think one thing that True hasn't done behind all of this is set up to deal with mutas. He still only has 2 queens. He doesn't have a Hydralisk den. True has not been building to try and deal with Mutalisk behind all of this, and I think that may be one of the biggest issues here. And Scarlett will start to clean up the rest of these Roaches now that she has Overseers. They will not just be able to burrow around hidden forever. And Overseers in a couple of different positions at that. Not True. His supply down only just slightly, but again, still no answer to the mutas. Lost the third hatchery while Scarlett kept hers alive, and we do see True with the 4th hatch up here, setting up as well. Carapace is on the way up, and we are going to be seeing those Mutalisks from Scarlett coming up through the center of the map as well. Here, going to turn around and get rid of this Overlord, so an Overlord does get picked away at. Again, those Roaches of True burrowing down the left-hand side, and Overseer of Scarlett will see them coming in, so already going to be able to position herself to deal with that as mutas going towards the upper right. Well, a Spore in this mineral line should shut down the majority of what those mutas can do, and Scarlett sees it and turns away pretty much instantly. Roaches pop up over here. Now Scarlett has to jump on those, and she will move into position. She still has the +2, and she has some Lings to tank as well, which means her own Roaches just trade out very well in this scenario. And True will be losing a lot as he'll be trying to step away during all of this. Meanwhile, Scarlett bringing more of her meters back down to the south side as True will try and run by once again. He's going to get a handful of Roach kills, but actually trying to burrow up here. Well, that Overseer was chasing for a little while. A second Overseer as well, so actually Scarlett just picking up further kills. And Mutas will going to be coming in towards these set of Roaches who are going to go and try and focus down this third hatch. I mean, a couple more Roaches coming in right now, and that hatchery is low, but I don't think it's going to fall. Scarlett holds onto it. Obviously, it may go down at some stage, but so many Roaches have been thrown away from True to not really actually do any damage here. Scarlett's not really taking any damage. She's defended well on the left to the third base. She's had units in the right positions, and now she's even the one that's picked off another couple of drones. To the left side, we do see some more burrowed Roaches, but I think there's just going to be way too much of Scarlett pushing through towards the natural now. She continues to build Roaches behind this, and True does know that this game is over. GG, and Scarlett will take game number 1 of this best of 5. Continue this on as we have to the bottom left-hand side the blue Zerg player up 1 game in this best of 5 lower bracket finals. It is from Team Expert, Scarlett. She's going up against the red Zerg player to the upper right-hand side of the map from Psystorm Gaming. It is True. Alright, so True here in game number 2 is opening with the 13-12. So going to completely change this up into quite a bit of aggression. Getting set and ready to roll. What's up, OFU? How you doing, man? Feels like it's been a long time no see. Hope you're doing well. Feels I haven't even run into you in Twitch chats for like a very long time or so. What's up, bro? Hope you're doing good as we do get into this game number 2 with the aggression out of True here. Getting set up and ready to go. What chair am I using? I have a Maxnomic chair. And I do not have a referral code. Ling speed starts. 8 Lings on the way. Still mining gas. True going to commit to the full-on 1-base play here to try and pick up the second game. Scarlett hatch gas pool, so she will have to defend with the hatchery first. But we've seen Zerg players getting so good at dealing with this aggression with hatch first. It's crazy because back in the original ZvZ of Legacy of the Void, everyone went 13-12 every game because everybody struggled to hold it. And then people sort of developed gas pool hatch, which was a better way of holding it. And now we just go hatch gas pool because you know what, we can hold anything no matter what happens. Ling's coming down towards the bottom left hand side of the map. They're going to be arriving in a few moments to see what they can do, moving in already towards this natural hatchery. Ling's gonna be able to work their way through that hatch here as we see the hatchery of True dropping down as well. More Lings, a Baneliness dropping from Scarlett as she actually is pretty slow to pull drones in towards this low ground. She takes a lot of damage on her hatch, so that's going to be very vulnerable to continue to defend against this. True on just the 12 workers against the 18. It's a huge eco lead from Scarlett. But for now she did pull a few drones, it just disappeared just momentarily. Lings continue to push on in. There's the first couple of Banes from True. Gets a good chunk of Zerglings initially. Gets a Queen as well. Bane up to the high ground is actually going to be tanked by a drone and a Queen. As the spine crawl on the high ground does finish. But Scarlett might be losing a hatchery. And True is taking a hatch behind it. So Scarlett will have to rebuild a hatch. But, well, Scarlett has to rebuild the hatch. True still has to build 6 workers to catch up. So actually both of them will have to build basically 300 minerals of something to get evened out in this game. Obviously, one of the issues is that True might be able to keep on delaying this for a while. Although we do see a couple of Lings and a Bane coming down to the low ground. Scarlett just now starting Ling speed as well. She went into the Bane nest initially to actually get defensive. Now she will be able to maybe move down to the low ground. The thing is, if she doesn't get a spine crawler down there soon, there's not going to be creep to kind of put it on. In fact, I think it might already be too late. That's probably why she's spreading this creep tumor before moving the spine crawler down into position. And then she will be able to try and hold this here. Oh, cancels the creep tumor to actually decide to put it up on the high ground. Interesting. 2 Banes going to lead the charge down the low ground. And a couple of Banes of True going to come up the ramp and just gets 1 drone there. Well, 1 drone is still 1 more drone that he doesn't have to catch up on now. 2 more Banes already ready to go. The damaged Lings are morphing into Banes in the back as well. Scarlett trying to find a way to take her hatchery, but has so far been found it. 2 Banes with 2 Banes. And the Lings here still controlling the area. And True is really going to be starting to roll away with this one now as he starts to drone up his natural hatchery. True is looking pretty freaking good. Now the Spine should probably again try to maybe come down with a couple of Banes to protect the high ground if the Lings try and dive past it. And the Spine will help a lot in this sort of defense here. We'll be able to snipe Banelings very well as well. Obviously target those down. Drone going for the hatchery, and we're going to be seeing the Banes 2 for 2, but the drone goes down in the process. Finally True, I think, has realized he's probably delayed this as long as he can. So Scarlett can finally expand safely, but god, it took her so long to get this done. Puts into a bit of a tough spot moving on from here. Morling's backing away towards the upper right. Another Bane finishes morphing. Scarlett just going to go straight into lair. I wonder if she just plays mutas. Because mutas are a way that if you're behind in the game, you can find yourself sometimes, you know, they've got the most kind of comeback potential out of any of the Zerg units, I think. You know, if you go Roaches, what's your comeback potential? Or maybe counterattacking well, your opponent overcommitting to a fight. Those are much less likely to happen than your opponent not scouting mutas, not being able to respond in time, responding incorrectly, that sort of thing. As you see, those couple of Queens are there to push the Lings and the Bane away. Apologies. My throat's dying out after the crazy week of casting we've had. We do see Scarlett backing away towards the lower left. More Zerglings here of True. We're going to be setting up, and we are going to be seeing these couple of Queens are going to be pushing their way through that Overlord. Overlord gets taken down. Lings continue to come on forwards, and we are going to be seeing the Queens getting surrounded. Transfuse will come down. A extra set of Lings coming in, and they are going to be seeing that Queen getting picked off. So 2 Queens picked away out here. And we are going to be seeing the Zerglings of Scarlett continue to run on in. It's going to be seeing the Spy, which is building has to be cancelled. And that's pretty much, I think, Scarlett's way back in the game, the Spy. So to lose that is going to be a heavy loss. She starts to rebuild on the low ground. I mean, she's starting to clean up the Lings, but she loses another 5 drones. And True is definitely in control of this one right now. He is completely on top of everything happening. Looking very good indeed. As you're going to see, Lings going to move out in towards the center of the map all over again to try and do a bit more here, but there is just, I think, going to be too much. Scarlett, what's she going to run into? I mean, she's going to run into Queens pushing forwards to deal with an Overseer. I think these Queens are maybe even going to keep on coming through across the map to deal with the potential mutas that are eventually going to be on the way here. True making Roaches as well, so just going to be aggressive with this. As we are going to be seeing a couple more Spines building up on the natural. Scarlett trying to find any way to survive until she can get mutas out, which is not far away. But again, those Queens are going to help as well. I wouldn't be surprised if a couple of drones came across just to build a couple of Spore Crawlers. It sounds ridiculous, but they could help on the edge of Scarlett's creep spread. It could just be a way to stabilize against the mutas if True does want to commit to this aggression. Bane's coming in. Obviously, Scarlett could have probably blown up all these Banes that were just finishing up. She gets 2 for 2 now as we are going to be seeing True is going to be able to try and get a Spine Crawler. It goes very low. And his Spine Crawler is very low as well. True just building up a few more Banes. Queens are still arriving. The first mutas are on the way out. First mutas are on the way out as those Roaches and Banes. Well, here we go. Going to be coming in and already going to be starting to target down one of those Spines. Lings and Banes are going to start streaming up the ramp as well. Now with the Roaches here, the Banes of Scarlett don't really do enough. A Transfuse on the Spine Crawler is nice, but again, just way too far behind from the early game. GG. True takes game 2 and we're tied up 1-1. Left hand side, our pink Zerg player from Team Expert. Give it up for Scarlett. And she is going up against the red Zerg to the bottom right hand side from Psystorm Gaming. It is True. Alright, a few Lings moving out here as Ling Speed going to be on the way up. The Baneling Nest gets dropped down from True as well. Just getting that set up and ready to go. As we do see the hatch and spawning pool currently on the way up from Scarlett as well. So coming in to be about halfway done here at the moment. As we do have the, obviously the straight up just 1 base aggression coming in from True. Now Scarlett will see it with this Overlord, so she knows what's coming. Question is, can she defend better this second time around? Or is she going to fall kind of victim to the same strategy all over again? I imagine there's no way that Scarlett dies to this every single time someone does it, so I'm sure this game she might just have a bit better control, slightly better ways of kind of dealing with it, maybe approaches it just slightly differently based on how True approaches it. Well, she actually might just be giving up the hatchery here. She's not pulling drones, she just starts the Spine on the high ground, So she's just going to get the hatchery, just die off here without really doing anything for herself. She starts up a Ling speed, throws down the Bane Nest, so she will have Ling speed a lot faster this time around. Well, more Lings coming up here as we do see Scarlett is now going to have to deal with the Banes. The Spine Crawler is about to finish. Queen of the Spine should be aiming to maybe try and target down some of those Banes as the Baneling will come in and actually gets a lot of those Zerglings. Now Scarlett's Mineral Line going to be in some trouble. Those couple of Lings that are left for Scarlett are super low health. They start to go down. I think Scarlett might just be in so much trouble here, right? I mean, drones are going to start falling. The Spine Crawler gets a poke every now and then as those Lings reposition around. Some more Lings coming out will help Scarlett to defend this. 15 workers apiece, but True already has the hatchery on the way up. What does Scarlett do from this position? She loses one drone, she loses another. 4 workers going down. Scarlett types out ... smiley face. I was thought that was going to be a GG for a moment, but I think it's just sort of the acceptance that, yeah, this is not going my way. I'm definitely a little bit behind at the moment as Emil throws out a smiley face as well. Alright guys, we're memeing here, we're memeing along. Now we're going to see those Lings continue their way in towards the bottom right hand side of the map. We do see another Baneling or two just starting on up. Again, a few more Zerglings coming out as well, another Queen coming through. These units just gathering up on the natural expansion, looking to see what will be next. Feeling some Scarlet have pulled away in towards the center. We're going to be seeing more Zerglings of True off and away over to the left-hand side. Natural Scarlet continues to come on up on this natural expansion. We are going to be seeing Scarlet continue to come up towards the upper left-hand side as well. Just pulling back to get defensive because she can't really afford to lose any more drones in this position. Worker counts are actually even, but Scarlett still doesn't have a natural hatch to build up of, and you know, I think right now it looks kind of even-ish. I think in the next couple of moments True will take a bit of a lead. You know, maybe 2 minutes from now I think you'll see that True will have a bit of a lead to work with here. As we do have the few Zerglings coming out in towards the center once more. Well, True is actually just going to go straight up for the aggression. Moves up the ramp, and Scarlett doesn't even try to take the fight before realizing she's not going to have a chance in this. There was a little bit too much there. Let's see what happens. To the top left-hand side, our pink Zerg player. Down a game is Team Expert Scarlett. Bottom right, the red Zerg player is Psystorm Gaming's True. How many wardies do you see on the screen? I see 6. The logo at the top. The logo in the studio. A link to the website. Our Twitter account. Our Facebook account. Our YouTube account. That's how many wardies I see on the screen. Imagine that. Promoting our content. Promoting where you can follow the channel and stuff we do on our channel. Isn't that mind-blowing? Pretty freaking mind-blowing. We've kind of like cracked into new levels of marketing right there almost, I think. I guess you can count 7 wardies if you also count me. Hi, I'm a wardie. Oh, 8, because there's a wardie emote on the screen as well, so that's 8 wardies. You're right, there is a lot of wardies on the screen between games. Alright. Well, we are going in towards this. And it is a little bit of a slower startup. We have hatch gas pull apiece, so no immediate aggression. We do have a minute or two just to sit back and wait to see what will happen instead. Maybe give us a moment to remind you, as Eddie has reminded you in the chat, that OSC Esports does have the Match Arena page up and running. You just have the Match Arena page up and running for this event, and you can support it with !Match Arena in the chat. Do appreciate all you guys tuning in and joining us for the content here today. But I think we've got to give a big shout out to the OSC organization in general. Well, A, for having us on here as the stream. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here for the last week or more, bringing you guys all of the OSC action, as well as just in general putting on a fantastic event yet again. Super smooth. The downtime has been pretty minimal for the most part. You know, there has been some matches here, some matches there that got a bit delayed. Some schedules had to be changed, but they've accommodated all of the players. Everyone's been pretty happy, I think, and it's given us a lot of great StarCraft 2. So a big shout out to the OSC crew, putting on another fantastic year of the OSC Championship. As we do see Queen comes in and will deflect those first few Zerglings of Scarlett, coming over to the right hand side. Couple of links continuing towards the upper right, as we're going to be seeing the Bane Nest about to finish up from Scarlett in the natural. She has her own third hatchery on the way. And the Bane Nest coming in from True as well. He's a little bit later on the link speed, but not by anything too much. As we are going to be seeing the initial early game setup continuing. Obviously the Ling Bane phase is about to start, so getting in towards this little bit of a skirmishing sort of warfare between these low cost, highly kind of spammable units in the early stages. Obviously both players will do this to keep themselves safe and to keep their opponents on edge, and to take a position where they can feel safe enough, teching up in towards roaches and the next stage of the game, of course, getting set up in that sort of way. And it's coming all the way in towards the natural expansion. Oh my god, a Baneling actually went off here for True, so True's actually going to be losing a few of these drones. 5 workers going down already, as we're going to be seeing the Bane finishing morphing on the right hand side. 5 workers, it's nice by Scarlett taking a little bit of a lead here. That one Bane leading the charge and getting that connection initially, opening the doorway for the Zerglings to come through and to be able to get a lot done from there as well. Lings coming on over to the left hand side, working their way through the hatchery, and a couple of Banes continue to set up. One Ling pulling back, and well, still those Zerglings trying to see what else they can do. Just True trying to counterattack for some damage of his own. Try and make up for the position he's in. He's actually going to get 2 of the Queens over towards the third base. That's nice. Doesn't really find many drones though. Well, starts to pick off against a Roach or so as well. Again, I mean, I guess it is nice to see the kind of the pick off on the couple of Queens, but that really is all he gets. I guess it forces units out of Scarlett for a little bit and allows True to just drone on up. Still down by 4 workers though at the moment. Still down by 4 workers. Roach on the way now from True as well. Extra Zerglings on the way up also. Lair and Evolution Chamber. Oh my god, 10, 11 workers dropping in the main. I'm so bad at seeing these Banes peeling off to the side today. This is crazy. This is crazy. So much of these, so many Banes just going off into mineral lines just randomly, suddenly, to kill a whole chunk of workers. As you are going to be seeing the we're going to be seeing the Lings coming through the top side. True, getting in position up here. Larry's going to be finishing up shortly. +1 missile attack is on the way as well. 7 roaches from True. I think he's just looking to end this game around about now. Starting to push out in towards the center. Lings are going to run by into the natural and the main. There's no defense for those Lings. The Banes are going to be very slow to get up there. Now some Lings already nibble on the Queen on the third base. Roach is coming through this, and Scarlett just does not have a clue about it just yet. She doesn't know the follow-up is going to be all of those roaches, because True is yet to reveal his hand. Well, and then Scarlett is now starting to make some more Lings. True has to go sooner rather than later to be able to make sure he maximizes what he can get done. But already, I mean, 18 workers killed, and the roaches haven't even left the base. In fact, the roaches really haven't left the base, and maybe True just says, wow, that was pretty good for me already. Maybe I don't bother with the roaches. Maybe I just start a macro up from here. One last Ling finds the Baneling as well. Very nicely done. As we are going to be seeing those Lings and roaches once again from Scarlett coming out in towards the center of the map. Roach speed coming up, +1 missile attack coming up. 23 drones down, and just going to see all of those Zerglings coming over to the right hand side once again. Roaches already picking their way through a couple of Zerglings here. Extra roaches coming in also, and we're just going to be seeing them continuing to fight. A lot of Lings going to be going down right now. A lot of Lings going to get shut down, and True really has put himself back into this game, but he hasn't got the upgrades to play the Roach Warfare forever, and so he is throwing down the Spire. That's going to be his way to continue through. Now, the Overseer in the main does see the Spire as well, so Scarlett sees that. Well, she's going to say, okay, you want to play mutas? Let's play mutas. And when was the last time you all saw muta versus muta in ZvZ? Because I feel like the last time I saw muta versus muta ZvZ was a heck of a long time ago. I don't think we've seen it at all throughout this entire championship, despite the ZvZ, the number of Zerg versus Zerg games that have come around. As we're going to be seeing the Lings and the Bane gathering over to the left side. The Roaches and the Ravager gathering up as well here for Scarlett. And getting set up and ready to go. +1 melee starts. So Scarlett going to switch it straight up into just kind of Ling Bane muta over the next few minutes. While True will just have the mutas maybe in towards Roaches. I guess we'll see. True's a little bit behind on gas in terms of what he's got immediately ready to make into Mutalisks. So we'll see if that's going to be an issue here. Because obviously the thing for Scarlett is that she scouted mutas, so she knows it's mutas, and so when her Spire finishes, she can also build +1 Carapace. And Fly Carapace versus no Carapace in ZvZ muta or muta is a huge deal. It works so well at kind of soaking up attack shots. She's actually going to start flyer attacks. That's interesting. I wonder if that's because she feels as though she's going to win out the muta warfare anyways, because she knows about it, and then she wants to be able to take down the Roaches of True, which she's maybe expecting him to follow up into. That's interesting, because again, in muta versus muta straight up, it definitely is much better to go for the Carapace, because the attack bonus doesn't apply to the multiple bouncing of the glaives, the splash damage the mutas do, but it does apply to defending against the splash damage, which bounces across multiple mutas each time the armor upgrade, the Carapace upgrade, soaks up a shot, and reduces the damage taken, as we do see the mutas of True backing away, seeing the mutas of Scarlett. I mean, just in general here, Scarlett having the +1 coming through. I mean, True didn't start +1 at all. Now he does go for the Carapace as you would expect. There's still going to be time and windows where Scarlett will have the +1 flyer attacks versus nothing. And that is still good. I mean, you know, the flyer attacks is still going to help in muta versus muta. It's just the Carapace will do more. So there's going to be kind of like a 60-ish second window, about a minute, where Scarlett can come in and take beneficial fights with an upgrade lead. Then there's going to be a little while when True has the +1 Carapace and Scarlett doesn't, where True's mutas fights will be doing a lot better than Scarlett's. 20 to 20 meters now, Scarlett with a slight lead there, but obviously it's ping-ponging around, and there's extra mutas finish up here and there from both players. $70 workers apiece as well, 4 bases up, 5th base coming through. Now Scarlett adopted in towards the kind of the Ling base style a while ago, so she has those Lings to run around with. True is switching into Lings. You can see the melee upgrades with the Carapace now in the production tab. The Fly Carapace as well continue to come on up as we see the mutas of Scarlett. Continue to look around to see, well, what she can do next also. Pulling all the way over to the left side. And again, just going to be seeing that Carapace upgrade coming on through. It's just over 60% done. And we are going to be seeing the +2 melee upgrade right now from Scarlett coming up as well. Again, Lings up to the top, more units gathering up together. And we are going to be seeing Scarlett try and see just maybe what happens next, is she's going to actually dive to the south side. Where is True? True is here to fight this. Carapace upgrade going to be finishing shortly as, well, and Ravagers and Roaches are maybe a little bit of a bait. No, Scarlett is going to leave them here. Doesn't turn around with the mutas at all. She goes into her own +1 Fly Carapace now. The Lings to the top side though. 15 workers disappear from True. That's pretty sick, as we're going to be seeing Lings and Roaches continue to come on the log, and we are going to see the mutas there to try and help out, but it's not enough in time. And so that hatchery of True does fall. Well, he does have this extra hatch down here that you can just mine from, but the 15 workers lost is going to be a little bit better. We're going to see those mutas coming in once again. As we're going to be seeing the mutas still setting up in the center and looking to see what goes down next. And it's just going to be still coming in from True. He has a lot of them, by the way. 41 against 43. The mutas just chasing each other around right here. The south side, though, the Lings of Scarlett is what really is going on at the moment. You're going to see those Lings surrounding does go on through. I mean, just doing some damage. I mean, that's the issue. True is not getting his own Lings on the map to do what Scarlett's doing. And so that's True's biggest issue right now. I mean, he's getting some Roaches across, so yes, he does end up picking up a few workers. Actually gets 13. I guess this was pretty successful in the end. But losing the hatcheries is a big deal, because now True can only mine off of 3 bases. As we are going to be seeing the Lynx coming in for this round once again. Scarlett maxed out and True without money. The most important thing that's going to be missing for True now is going to be the lack of gas. And without the gas, obviously True will struggle to continue on. True's Lynx get caught before they come across the map, and Scarlett in general just bullying True to stay on his own side means that as soon as True responds to something, it opens up doorways for Lynx to get across, and because True wasn't on the map, he hasn't got a chance of shutting that down before it even arrives, like what Scarlett's doing here. True goes into his own +1 flyer attacks right now. Just going to be seeing those meters coming all the way back down towards the bottom right. Hatchery will cancel. Sport Crawler gets picked off. We are going to be seeing multiple overlords getting taken down right now. Oh my god, True's supply block. Where even are his meters over to the side? I mean, they're going to start coming in, but right now it is an upgrade advantage to Scarlett. She has 1-1 against just +1. So that's completely fine for her to fight if she wants to take it. She might just click on those meters and see she has the advantage, and here we go, gonna fly her in. The meter-on-meter warfare begins well and truly now. As well, this is just gonna go very one-sidedly. Mirrored units going up against each other in an upgrade advantage sort of fight is almost always gonna go the way very heavily of the upgraded player. He doesn't look too crazy for now, but then it starts to really stack on up, and of course Scarlett's making so many more meters behind this. She's going to close this out. She's going to take game 4. We're going to a 5th and final game in our lower bracket finals. Scarlett takes it. GG. 4th game is hers, and we are going. Which of these players will face Neeb in the grand finals and get at least a top 2 guaranteed finish in the OSC Championship 5? To the bottom right-hand side, the pink Zerg player bringing it back, tying it up, looking for that neat rematch against Neeb right here. It is Scarlett. Top left, the red Zerg from Psystorm Gaming is True. Well, hatchery first apiece, and when it has been hatch firsts, macro-focused openers, True has not found success against Scarlett. He only won the 2 games off of the 13-12s, back-to-back. As we set up now again, hatchery on the low ground from each, gas on the way from each, pool on the way from each. Alright guys, are you excited for the final ZvZ of the day of the tournament? Because it's ZVP finals guaranteed. Final ZvZ of the day. How freaking hype is that? I think it's very hype. Personally. I think it's pretty cool as we do see the setup here getting going, and Overlord going to start coming down towards the lower right hand side of the map. Overlord all the way towards the bottom right. Here's the linger speed from Scarlett. Will start up the hatchery. Is down on the natural and finish from both, and we just wait to see where the differences will start to come in from each of these 2 players. Who will be going for this here? Who will maybe be the more aggressive player? It's Neon Violet Square for map number 5. And obviously what a sort of setup this puts us in. Overlord of True just sat at the front, Overlord of True to the right as well. Well, better to lag now than later, I suppose. Third hatch on each side of the map as well, and still so far not much happening. Again, Neon Violet's a large map. Definitely a map to play meters on if you want to play meters, which we have seen the players tending towards so far. As you see the 2 queens coming in, and just going to be working its way through this Overlord here. So Overlord taking some damage. Scarlett pushing that back. It just hides what, you know, her true intentions are. True doesn't go for the Overlord of Scarlett, which is out here. It's a nice little pick-off. First real pick-off of the game. Scarlett taking a bit of a drone lead at the moment. The supply block from True hurting as well, stopping him from continuing to drone for the moment. Now he actually does go into some lings, so Scarlett will hold about a 5 to 10 worker lead, as True will get a bit aggressive. The Ling Bane starting to move onto the map. So here we go again, the Ling Bane phase of this. Getting set up and going here already. The right hand side, the 4 Banes will start to morph in, and True gonna keep on making Zerglings. If Scarlett keeps making drones, she could be in trouble, but she sees the Banes. It's obviously a big upper hand already. True actually has a couple of Banes already moving forwards, and they're going to be grabbed by 2 Queens, which are going to take that down so very quickly. So the first Bane goes down very quickly. Here's going to be seeing True commits onto some of the Morphin Banes right now, gets a connection to help out. Some of those other Banes going lower as well. Extra Banes moving forwards and looking for those connections. Oh, it's good trades from Scarlett so far. Remember, she holds this. She's holding quite a worker lead behind it as well. True's not really finding what he needs right now. He gets a Queen, but there's still Banes up from Scarlett, and there's more on the way. There's not just a few Banes up, there's plenty of Banes up at the moment. You're going to see again the Queen are going to start talking down the Banes, heading towards the middle line, but Scarlett seems to have forgotten about them a little bit. Only 5 workers so far. More Lings of True, obviously, is what Scarlett has to pay attention to as well at the same time. Queen's fighting to try and protect each other here. And we are still going to be seeing the Ling Bane setting up. Queen's now really targeting down more and more of these Banelings, though. Again, 5 workers lost. True starting to drone heavily behind this. And Scarlett throwing down a whole chunk of extra Zerglings, continuing to go on into it. A lot more units off and away down towards this bottom right hand side, and we are going to be seeing the spine crawler of Scarlett going to be finishing burrowing in the next few moments. 5 extra gases coming on up and getting ready to roll. As we do see Lair coming up. So True on 6 gases right away. It's a lot of gas to go with, and it feels as though it already may be just a move in towards the middle discs in the near future. A couple of Lings moving forwards. More of these Zerglings around the right hand side here from True, looking to see what else he can get done in the next few moments. Bane's going to be moving up, and they are looking to try and connect onto True's army. Doesn't find it just yet, though. Not correctly, not properly. 2 Zerglings of Scarlett continuing towards the upper left side, and 1 Bane goes down, the second Bane goes down. Zerglings in the center of the map. Spire on the way up from True as well, and we do see the lair of Scarlett going to be finishing in the main base in the next few moments also. She's also going to throw down the Spire. Well, how very interesting. True took his gases a little bit sooner, so he will have a little bit more gas to work with initially. And we have Muta versus Muta, 2 games back to back. Both of these players are playing some pretty weird ZvZ, of course. Because, I mean, Mutas aren't super uncommon, but to go pure Muta without kind of roaches is really weird. And to see them going Muta versus Muta is actually really weird as well. Neither player getting the scout on the Spire just yet. I love that Scarlett takes the pocket hatch, by the way. This is just a half base on minerals, but it still gives you full gas, and so when you play Mutalisks, one of the things that's going to hold you back is the amount of gas you can mine from. So getting that base set up safely and easily already gives Scarlett that advantage of having 2 extra extractors, and that will be a, you know, that's a big chunk of income extra in terms of gas that she can use here. We're still setting up in towards the middle. True starts the first 8 meters, still has gas for 5 more. That's the difference, I guess. He can make 13 meters immediately. Scarlett can only make 10 or 11. And neither player knows about the Spire of the other, so the upgrades that will be chosen here will be interesting if there's going to be upgrades at all. Scarlett actually makes 9 more drones first, before she waits to make meters, and now she goes straight into +1 flyer carapace. Did she figure this out from True? She might start to think it just because she hasn't seen roaches. Oh yeah, she did. She saw the Spire, of course. So she knows about the Spire, so she immediately goes +1 carapace. True doesn't know, but maybe just sort of thinks about it. Goes carapace himself. So again, carapace prioritized here from both. And we're just coming around. Gonna see actually some Lings over here from True. We're a little bit slow to jump onto that army of Scarlett, but Lings skirmishing. Neither player of melee upgrades or carapace upgrades on the ground just yet, and that's something we saw a little bit of in the last game with how things were sort of setting up and getting going, so that was kind of interesting. Scarlett pulling all the way back down towards the lower right once again. That fifth hatchery now on the way up. True did take the pocket to expand himself. Again, the idea of getting that extra gas up will be hugely important. As if we actually just throw the income tab up, you can see that Scarlett's gas income is much larger. I mean, she also has 22 drones more. And right now, she's been on 22 more workers for a pretty significant amount of time. Look at that income lead that's just been building up. And True had an extra army supply for a while, but never looked to utilize it. And so now, that income advantage is going to help Scarlett get back into the game. And not just back into the game, but ahead in the game. Just need to see Muta's actually finding one Muta already. There's now an Overlord going down too. Scarlett's the first to really start dealing the damage here. I mean, she's obviously lost Overlord or two as well. But actually only one. So she's actually had Overlords pulled back pretty early. I guess because she saw the Spire pretty early as well. Again, more Lings and Banes up the left, more Mutas through the center. How many Mutas are on each side right now? 26 apiece. Upgrades are going to be coming in very evenly. Scarlett is a few seconds earlier. Banes up the left side with the Lings, and Mutas are coming to come hunt this down. It looks as though this attack's not going to do too much. Gets a couple of Lings there. Over here, the Banes of Scarlett being introduced, I mean, it's just something she can do because she's got the 4th base while keeping up in Muta count. True maybe feels he can't afford that because obviously he didn't have the extra gases so soon, but Scarlett definitely did, and so she makes use of it. Both players go into +1 flyer attacks as soon as possible. You can already see though True's supply is really just starting to dip and fail a little bit. Scarlett's mutalist count is starting to rise up further, 32 to 29, with 3 more mutas in the production tab as well. She already had so much more. So Scarlett with a lot more to play with right now as we see this Overlord in the center going down. Some more Lings getting picked away at too. Mutas on either side looking to run in at each other here. Meanwhile, over this left-hand side, a Queen goes down. Some extra drones are beginning to fall. Another Zergling getting picked away at. Muta's just escaped, and Scarlett's happy with the run-by damage she's doing. The more eco damage she does, the more lead she takes later on in this game, and then the more one-sided that mutalist battle is going to be. She comes in to try and get the extractor, but again, doesn't seem interested in actually fighting, but maybe now she will. Maybe now she realizes with everything she's been doing, she has to have some sort of an advantage here. Now, she still has a couple of mutas that have to control in this fight, though, still. And obviously, this is not kind of an upgrade advantage fight. This is just a straight-up, I have more mutas than you fight. And it's going to start snowballing very heavily in her favor. More Lings into the natural mineral line, into the top mineral line. And Scarlett is taking down all of True's units. GG. She will take it in 5 games against True. And she will get